Okay. Hello everyone. I will wait just a few seconds if someone will actually join me. Anyway, for the start, I want to greet you from Alexandria. It's night and it's very, very cold. Extremely cold. Okay. My daughter is sleeping in the second room, so I hope I will not wake her up, and I hope you listen me very well. Please, if you can just write me and confirm me if my sound is good. Okay. First of all, I would really love to thank you for your support, because in my last video, the story which I shared with my Egyptian friend, what happened with me, it was really for me so bad and so painful. So I really want to thank you for your support. It really meant a lot to me. And you actually opened my eyes, and it was kind of funny for me. Because, a lot of time I was telling you, like, don't be naive, right? Especially with Egyptian men, but with Egyptian people in common. And then I realized I am still the naive person. And maybe more than you, that some of you even wasn't in Egypt. And you give me such an answer, direct answer, such advice, which I was like, oh yeah, you are right. So possibly you even know Egypt better than me, which is kind of scary thing, indeed. Like, I should finally grow up, right? And don't be that naive when I advise you. So, but actually, from my naivety, I learned everything what I'm sharing with you. So maybe it's for a good purpose. However, if you have any question anytime, just write it and I will answer it. Okay? I will try my best. I promise. This is our first time which we make a live, so I'm really very nervous, to be honest, to tell you the truth. But I hope you can speak with me, because I don't want this to be just my monologue. I want to really discuss with you, okay? So I really hope you will give me some questions and we can discuss like one whole big family. Okay, I'll maybe wait a little bit more till I have prepared for you actually a story which I want to tell you about. Or maybe I will start by it. It's a good idea. Okay, you asked me before why I wrote my first book called Don't Fall in Love with Egyptian Men. Even it's already 3 years old book and it has so many views and so many people read the book, you still ask me the certain question, why did I actually write it? Okay, I'll try to tell you. Actually, this book is not against all Egyptian men. In fact, they are against scammers. Well, what means basically I wanted to help you, okay, to get away from those scammers, Egyptian men, because we as foreign women, we fell for them, most for the Egyptian scammers. Or if you stay in Egypt a long time, so then you can realize it by yourself. But if you know nothing about Egypt and you came here to this country for the first time, I guarantee you, from 19%, you will fall for the Egyptian scammers. So that's why I wrote the book, to be very, very clear. And why I speak about it, because I want to share with you one story which I experienced with not with one foreign lady. She was from Canada and she was very rich, but not by born, but she was rich by her hard work. But she fell in love with an Egyptian man in Canada, actually. They met in Canada. And he worked in Canada. They lived in Canada together for 3 years, indeed. And it was really a very serious relationship, but he was telling her that he will marry her in Egypt. So one day, simply for certain reasons, they decided they will move to Egypt, he will marry her, and they will start their life here. Well, they have even problems in Canada, but it wasn't that much. It wasn't that hard problems, okay? And even she came before to Egypt. She was calling me on the mobile, a lot of times we was discussing together what she should do, what she shouldn't do. She asked me like what's my opinion, and I advised her in the time to don't come to Egypt because she had a very good job and she had already a daughter there, which basically when she came to Egypt she had to give her up, honestly. And she was so afraid to change her life, and I didn't see it good for her at all. Anyway, she didn't listen. She came to Egypt. She actually came to Alexandria here. And what happened the very first time when she came, the man took her bank card, credit card, he took her mobile, he took her everything, and he locked her in the house. Basically, without food, without a lot of things, without internet even, she didn't have any contact to anyone. That was so bad for her. She never was used on it. And hello, Daniela, right? So nice to see you, dear. Thank you so much that you joined me. I'm in the middle of a story, so I will try to finish it somehow. Okay, so simply she was just at home without anything. Then somehow one day she managed to contact me. She gets somehow, I don't remember how it was, but it was her only luck. And we managed that she could escape from Egypt as soon as possible because the man was treating her really bad. And then he was even beating her. So, and she was so scared to run away from Egypt that he will catch her, he will stab her, anything like that. So I remember this is the personal story which I experienced with a woman, which was really so sad. And that's why I'm telling you this, the reason why I wrote the book. So if you don't want to have similar experience, I bet you really need to recommend it. So just please don't judge by the title anymore, okay? Anyway, still, if you have some question anytime in this live, ask me. I'm gonna answer it. I hope so. Then the second point which I wanted to discuss with you is polygamy. In my video, you asked me so much about polygamy. And I was actually very happy because firstly, before I published the video, I was so afraid to publish it. I was so afraid from your comments, what you might say, what you might not say. But then I thought I have to be brave and I have to simply publish it. So I did, as you know, and it surprised me how you react to it, like a good way. It surprised me really good way. So what I want to get back to is actually, Walaikum salam, my sister. How are you? I hope you are fine. If you have any question, dear, so just ask me anytime, okay? Now is the time for you to ask me anything you want. Anyway, about the polygamy, you will not believe me, but this week, I don't know what's happening, but this week I met 3 women. They were Egyptian, 3 Egyptian women who just accepted polygamy. Oh, I miss you too, dear. Thank you so much that you joined me. I really appreciate it very much. Thank you, dear. So these 3, my Egyptian friend who accepted polygamy, it was for me a really big shock because I know them kind of for a long time and I knew that they were against polygamy. Moreover, all of them was divorced, so they remarried, and 2 of them were with children. So I get really interested to this, and I was speaking with them about it, basically, how it will be about the children and how they manage it. And really, they told me that the children is not a problem anymore, that somehow the Egyptian law changed, and it's supporting that the children will stay with the woman even she marry another man, which is kind of new, and I believe it's very, very good. Good for the children and for the mom as well, right? But mostly for the children. But that's not what I want to speak about. I want to speak about the feeling itself. That they accept the polygamy, because we had such a discussion here with a lot of women that it happened with you in Europe, that, for example, you found out by luck that your Egyptian man has already a wife, and it actually broke you. And I understand this absolutely. It must be really, really very difficult to find this out. But it reminds me of one comment which I wanted to discuss. I don't want. Wait, I'll read it. I like your videos, direct and open with your experience. I went to Egypt in October 2021 and met an Egyptian guy in Luxor. What do you think about Luxor traditions? Well, dear Daniela, Luxor is Upper Egypt. And men from Upper Egypt are very, very tough. I believe that guys from Upper Egypt, they are very, very romantic. Meaning that they can very easily foolish the women, and especially foreign women. Foreign women mostly fell for Upper Egypt men. And I'm not surprised, they are really very charming. But to be honest, personally, I will not marry Egyptian men from Upper Egypt, because as I thought, after marriage, they kind of change. They are very, very hard to the women. I can tell you an example. I had a best friend for many years, and she was always waiting and dreaming about the perfect guy, okay? And she really refused so many men. And then she found a gentleman from Upper Egypt, and she was at the start so happy with him. It was like a fairy tale. But when she married, he really changed. He was so rude, insulting her all the time. He was abusing her, and he even forbidden her to speak with her family and with her friends. He forbidden her work, and so she just had to stay at home. And since this day, and as again, she was my best friend, since this day, I never listened about her ever again. She just disappeared because of her husband from Upper Egypt. So I'm really not fan of Upper Egypt men. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I know that if you love this man, so my words may be so hard for you, or it can hurt you right now. But anyway, as I always say, you have to. I'm really sorry, Daniela. Really sorry. But in every rule there's exception. I don't want to give you the idea that you must be the exception. Who knows? It really depends on your feeling, what you feel when you are with him. But I believe you must really meet him often and often to really get him know more, who he really is, what his friends are, how he. Oh, you like my sincerity? Thank you. At least something I can tell you positive, right? That I can be honest with you. That's the only thing I can do with you, dear. I really just don't want you to fall for a bad Egyptian man, basically. Because I know how the life can turn very hard and very bad if you fell for bad men, basically. I experienced so many divorces with European women here in Egypt with those type of men, and it's always not nice story. But as I thought, trust your feeling. If you have feeling that he's the right one, he might be. I don't say that no. Okay? Just really pay attention that you know him very well. Every single details about him you know. You know his family. You know his friends. He will give you your rights, meaning he will treat you as Egyptian woman. He will buy you a flat, provide you a flat. Doesn't have to be buy, but provide you a place to stay, okay? He will pay food for you, clothes, like those basic stuffs. Okay, is that understandable? Something more you want to ask, dear? If yes, so just write it. I'm here for you right now. Anything you need. But I forget now where I stopped. Okay. Yeah, anyway, this month actually was very, very strange because besides that I met the women who accepted the polygamy. Yes, I remember when I speak about on the polygamy video. Okay, sorry. I met a nice Egyptian boy in Hurghada. We get along as friends, although he speaks nearly no English. In the photos he sent me, he is wearing a ring on one of his fingers, but says he's not engaged. Okay, first of all, if you meet a nice Egyptian boy, that's very nice. But if he cannot speak English, so how do you communicate, or how are you able to fully understand each other? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not very good if you really don't understand each other in the language, because then you might misunderstanding many things. Okay, if he doesn't speak English, why you don't try to learn Arabic for him to understand him more? That's what I will maybe advise you, because the understanding is really very important. And you say that in the photos he's wearing a ring. If I might ask you, which finger exactly? I said, not good. I learned some Arabic, but he doesn't learn in English. You know, and that's good point. If he doesn't want to learn English for you, so for me, he is not that serious, right? Because if I love someone and I want to really be with him, I will do my maximum to understand the person. So about the ring, I told it's important which finger, because basically if he's engaged, he'll wear ring on this finger on the right hand. If he is married, he will, as me, wear on the left hand. Okay? But mostly, if he is a ring, probably he is engaged. Even he's saying that no, that's what a lot of scammers do in Egypt, that they say, no, I'm not engaged, I'm not married, and then you find out later that he is actually. Like, Egyptian scammers are not honest about it. And from what you wrote, just these 2 sentences, I know it's just 2 sentences, but however, it doesn't seem so good here, really. I don't know if you want to share with me more specific situation, maybe, that I can advise you more. Okay? But again, you have to really trust your feeling as well. You can test him even if he's able to do something for you as a true man, not just a words. Okay, thank you for the gloves reminder, but I can't have gloves because I need my hands to work, you know. That's why I don't wear gloves in this, so I hope you don't mind. Fine. So I will back to the polygamy till you write me another new comment, okay? One woman, actually yesterday it was, she wrote me comment. Okay, I have a question. Do you became Muslim after to marry Egyptian, or you were Muslim before? Oh, my story, Muslim. That's a nice question. Thank you for this. I became Muslim before I met my husband, basically. I wasn't born Muslim. My all family are atheists. I told you that I grew up in the middle of Europe, especially in Czech Republic. So all my family were atheists, and I converted to Islam by myself when I was 17. Thank you for your advice. Yeah, you're welcome, dear. If you really want to go more deep, you can even write me a private message. We can discuss this private. It doesn't have to be even here, okay? Or write me an email. I will be so happy to get in touch with you and advise you more, anything I know, basically. So I became Muslim when I was 17, and my husband I met after, because I knew that since the day I was Muslim, I want to marry Muslim men, and for sure I loved Egypt since I was a kid, so for me it was clear that I want to marry Egyptian man. That's how I will answer it. And if you want to know the reason why I became Muslim, this really kind of long story. But let's say that, like, since I was 14, I was searching about the meaning of life and why we are here, what's our purpose, and I was searching in all the religion. And then actually I was speaking with, in the time, thanks to Facebook, I was speaking with some Egyptian people, but not my husband. And they actually told me you have to read Quran. I was first refusing it because I hated Islam very much. I can tell you, I said that all Muslims are terrorists, they are killers basically. But the very first time I opened the Quran and I read the first page, so I thought, yes, I want to be Muslim because it's something which I was searching all my life because it gave me answer on my question basically. So it was biologic. That's why I chose Islam. You're welcome, dear. I'm so happy anyway to share with you the story. Okay. Again, for the first time, back to the polygamy, which I want to tell you. So yesterday, one woman was writing to me her story. She found out that her husband is already married, Egyptian man, okay? And that she's pregnant with him and she doesn't know what to do because she is not legally married to him. And what she actually wrote me that she forced the man to divorce the first wife. And this is something I really don't like this idea. It didn't even came to my mind. So when I saw it yesterday, I was kind of shocked. I understand how, for example, the woman is broken, how hard it must be. But if you think about it, you and the first wife maybe are in the same position, absolutely the same position. And for me, it's kind of even evil. Now, my words will be very hard, but it sounds very evil for me. Because the first woman was actually a widow, so I believe that the man actually helped her. And now she's pushing the man to divorce her. Okay, you know what I mean? I hope you do. So I just want to tell you, like, if you're ever in this situation, don't act like this. It's really not nice because basically the woman did nothing to you. And maybe she even don't know about you. I know that these situations are very, very sensitive and very complicated, and every story is really, really different. I understand very well. But still, I believe that if you don't agree with polygamy, so first of all, you should ask yourself this question before you come to Egypt, or before you get in touch with Egyptian men, basically. Because Egyptian men grew up in this, that they can marry simply 4 wives. Okay? And there's one good example. Many foreign women actually wrote me that their men wrote them on a paper, declaration that they will never marry another any other woman. And they even sign it, and the European women actually believe in it. But it's so wrong. This paper means actually nothing in Egypt, really nothing. He will still have right to marry up to 4 women, even if you agree, even if you don't. And trust me, sometimes the Egyptian man especially can manage to marry another woman and you will never know about it. It's happening a lot, honestly. So really will recommend you to ask this question before you get to Egypt, if you will be able to accept this or not. Because there can be in the marriage so many situations which can lead to polygamy. The basic one, as I mentioned many times before, for the Egyptian man is that if you are not able to have a baby, okay, this is the main reason, I believe. But it can be even the reason that the man simply has a desire for another woman, which in a man is also a very common thing. So just ask this question yourself over and over. That's what I would advise you on the polygamy. If you want to ask something about the polygamy, go on in the comment, or any other questions. Still, I remind you, you can ask me anything you want today. I'm here for you, and I hope we can have really conversation about anything. So don't feel I'm here alone, okay? I need you to speak with me as well. Okay. Then, yeah, please, if some man is watching me right now, because I know I have a lot of subscribers are men, which is surprising because I believe my channel is mostly to women. I'm trying to help a woman, not a man. But I would like to say that I'm not a dating site, and many times you asked me if I can help you to find a wife, bride, No, I can't. I'll never do it. Okay, first of all. And the second, stop asking me if I will marry you, because I will not, because I'm already married. Okay, it's the short version which I have to tell. That's it. Yeah. Then I had a case this week that if you are really very, very young, I mean age, like let's say 18, 19, 20, and you have a love with Egyptian men, first of all, I will tell you that internet love is not good, and especially nowadays. It was really different 10 years ago, let's say when the Facebook started. It was really kind of different. But now it's absolutely different as well. So, it's really so important to really meet the man live, that you see him face to face, and you see, that's what I mentioned a while ago, right? That you can really get to know him. Because if you don't see him ever, and you are so in a young age, it's so easy to fool you because you don't have the life experience. If married, you recommend to live in my country or Egypt? Okay, it's a very tricky question, Daniela. You know, I'll ask you where you want to live. I believe it will be your decision, because many Egyptian men are marrying foreigners just to get out of Egypt. I believe it's very, very famous. So pay attention to it, what you want. Okay, if you wanna stay in Europe, okay, I'm sure that he will happily to move with you there. But if you wanna stay in Egypt, and if he loves you, he will also agree on this. He will not have a problem if he truly loves you. You can test him on this, actually. It's a good question. And why I stayed in Egypt? Oh, yeah. My story in Egypt, it's kind of long. Basically, I fell in love to Egypt when I was just 5 years old. So for me, it was a life dream to come to Egypt and live here. Sorry, many questions, but I'm happy I had a chance to ask. Oh yeah, I'm so happy that you asked, actually. That I'm not here alone, that you can discuss this with me. I'm so happy that I made the live event. It's our first time, but hopefully we'll repeat it more often, so you have even more chance to ask me whatever you want. So to answer your question, why did I stay in Egypt? As I told, it was my dream since I was really kid. And I knew that I need to be in Egypt, that it's my home, and I have some purpose here in Egypt. Okay, the purpose, I'm still searching. What is it? But I believe right now that it's to help women here in Egypt. I believe so. And yeah, you asked me many questions before, even if I miss my country. Honestly, no, I don't miss my country. Really, Egypt is my home, and even I came here, I knew it's my home, but when I arrived to Egypt, since the very first minute, I remember till now, I told myself, like, yeah, finally I'm home. I know it sounds crazy, maybe strange for someone, but it's simply where I am meant to be, Maybe you feel this way, not about Egypt, but about something else in your life. And it's okay, it's simply what's your destiny, and I believe that my destiny always was Egypt. Okay. If you have more questions, Daniela, just go, okay, ask. I'm really happy to discuss this with you. Because you have so good questions, to be honest. Okay. I want to discuss something more. But I don't know. I will talk. Yes, I want to discuss one more point with you. Okay. Many of his friends also tried to talk to me. I ignored a lot of messages. However, one of his friends asked me if I want children. I said no. And he spoke badly to me and said I'm stupid. Fine. Dear, perhaps it is because of the culture difference between UK and Egypt. Okay, dear, first of all, why do you speak with his friend? From where the boy is actually. Is he from tourist places or from Cairo and Alex? It's very, very important to know from where your Egyptian man is. the location. Because really, believe it or not, we don't have this in Europe, but here in Egypt it works like this. The location is really the most important. The people in Alexandria behave different, and in Cairo different, and in Luxor different, okay? Hurghada. Nice one. So, Hurghada, from my experience, yeah, it's very common that the men let you speak with their friends, but I don't see it very good. And many Egyptian men in Hurghada, especially in Sharm el-Sheikh, are scammers, to be honest with you. So take care of those type of men, really. And if he asks you, do you want children, and you want to know, for sure you know why you say that you don't want children, right? And he should respect you, even the friend who spoke to you. He should respect your decision. But if he speaks badly about you, this is the one of the signs that they are not very good men, or not even a very well educated men. And I can even tell you that the friends, if there are two men friends, they will be very, very similar in the characters in Egypt. Okay, I know it's also not good news for you. Sorry, dear, but I really had to tell you. Personally, if this happened with me, what you told, I will stay away. Even if you already saw that he has a ring, so he's probably engaged. Okay? Really sorry, dear. It's really different culture, as you mentioned correctly. Europe is different, and Egypt is really absolutely something else. And it would take you years to learn actually what true Egypt is. As I told you, I love Egypt since I was 5, and trust me, before I came to Egypt, I knew so many stuff about Egypt, about the history, but about the culture, even about the people. I spoke with so many people, Egyptians, before I came, and I had so many friends, men, girls, okay? But still, when I came here, and still, I'm staying here 10 years, and still I am learning. Okay, it will be simply forever. Because you are not Egyptian, and even, for example, I tried to be Egyptian, I wanted to be Egyptian so much, but it's simply impossible, and we will still learn all our lives. Thank you so much. Yeah, you're welcome, dear. Again, if you have any other question on this your problem, ask me. No problem. I'm here for you, really. Yeah, and it reminds me this thing which I want to discuss with you. Before you told me you would like to learn Arabic with me. So, I'm not fluent in Arabic, to tell you, even after 10 years, because I basically never learned like I learned Arabic. I just learn from what I listen from the people. So I speak basically the public Arabic, Egyptian, but not the original one. However, I get a great idea because I was thinking about it. I have very, very close Egyptian friend, a woman who is a teacher, Arabic teacher. So I saw that I could make with her videos about it. So if you will be interested in this, just let me know now in the comments or after. It's okay. Just think about it, because she's really so good and she can teach you and me together to Arabic. We can teach together, which will be so nice indeed. But I must know that you will be interested about it, because I will not learn it alone. I'm so lazy to learn it alone, to be honest. Or Arabic language wasn't one of the language which I really liked. I learned because I had to, simply because I wanted to be in Egypt. But it wasn't my dream, honestly. So, okay. Do you have any more questions? Because we are here half an hour and I finished all what I wrote, actually. Hi, I finally made it to your live. Hello, dear, but I just wanted to finish, so you are late. Yes, I'm interested in learning some Arabic for if I am with Egypt again. Definitely, okay. So I will write it if someone is interested, and I will try to manage it with my friend. It's okay. Okay, it would be very nice to learn the Arabic together. And you say if you visit Egypt again, For sure, you should visit Egypt again. Egypt is a country. It's very, very beautiful country. Away from the men now, okay? Egypt is a country, and Egyptian people, they are really two different things. Really. So Egypt is a country. It's a beautiful country. We have here really everything. You know, the sea, the sand, the trees, the cities, and really so much stuff. So I traveled in a lot of places in Egypt, and I can tell you honestly, because I was traveling before in Europe a lot, so I can tell you honestly, like Egypt is really definitely the most beautiful country which I have ever seen. Really, so many mysterious places, so many beautiful places. I really, really enjoy anywhere I go. Okay, I was working, just finished. Okay, it's okay, dear. I'm so happy that you came. I think people are like everywhere, good and bad ones. Oh yeah, of course, sure. Every country has a good people and some bad people, but still, Egyptian people have a specific character, which you will not find anywhere else. You will find it just in Egypt. I know it's very hard to believe it, but it really is. I was discussing this just today with one of my friends, which is actually a foreigner, and she lives in Sharm el Sheikh. And we have yes, we have together a very big project which will come up next week. So you have something to look forward. Because trust me, in this project which I make with her basically now, you will be very interested. I will not tell you what is it, but trust me, you will love it. Okay? So we discuss it in the project. I can tell you that Egypt, even it's so big country, let's say like whole Europe, let's say, okay, comparison. So the people remain the same. Okay, with some small differences about the cities, but the basic character of Egyptian are really the same. And what I see more interesting, because you know that I love Egyptian history, so I can tell you that Egyptian people, the character didn't change from pharaoh times, which is really thousands of years, and they remain the same as I found in all the books, which is really like unbelievable, right? But it's something about Egyptian. I mean, I mentioned it in one of my videos that I personally believe somehow Egypt is under God protection, that it stay unchangeable. You know, because for example, Europe is changing over the centuries all the time, but Egypt not. Egypt remains the same. Okay, and if you actually came here, Nika, do you have any question which you want to ask me personally? I'm here for you today, so you can ask me whatever you want. And anyone else? Don't be shy, ask me. I will be happy if you discuss with me your problems. I'm really here for you. Okay, no one? I don't want to feel like I'm alone here. Come on, discuss with me. Face to face now. Maybe I can tell you one more thing about this sensitive topic as well, but about the older women who are marrying young Egyptian men. That's really a topic, for example, which I really don't like at all. But I want to tell you what I think personally about it. You know, if in Europe it happens, I believe, okay, I would believe it's a true love. It can work. I experienced it, I saw it, and it's fine. But simply in Egypt, and I know so many women do it. And I don't know why, especially the older women are going in this adventure with young Egyptian men. But I don't believe it. I didn't, because at the reason, because I didn't find even one story who was successful. Always the young Egyptian men married the old women for some reason. And mostly the reason, to be honest, is money. Most of it. So, and trust me, so many old women contacted me and they asked me for help when it was too late and I wasn't able to help them anymore. And it really, this Egyptian Eggman was able to destroy their lives. Not only financially, but mostly even emotionally. You know? Like, if you lose your money, it's okay. You can never back it somehow in your life, even if it's bad. But if someone break your emotions, break your heart, really cruel way, and not only your heart, but many other stuff, it's with you forever. So I really, any woman who is kind of old and want to do this, I will really tell her never do it. Because I really went through so many women, and neither one story was successful. Neither one story was about pure love. As I told you, I've been talking with this guy from October. He wants to be with me, but until now he didn't say I love you. Like other girls say, that they say I love you so fast. Yes, that's a good sign actually, when he didn't tell you quickly that he loves you. It will be a problem. Okay, now you say that I'm 37 and he is 30. Do you think that it will be a problem? Okay, what I told basically now, I meant a very big age difference. Let's say example, woman 70 and marry 20 years of old man, okay? Like, for example, 50 years, 40 years. But you are 7 years. That really depends. Really depends. That could work because it's not absolutely that big difference. He never asked for money or a picture. Okay, that's good. That sounds that he is polite. Okay, just remove it. I'm sorry for saying it. So basically, you asked me if it's possible or not. 7 years is not a big difference, but I want to just tell you how the Egyptian mentality work here. Because I, for example, personally, I discussed this with the family of my husband, and not only with them, about other families. Like, I asked the mom specifically, hey, what about if your son will bring older woman? And all of the mothers, they look at me like I'm crazy. Like, they tell me, of course we will not accept this. Like, it's insane here in Egypt. Like, no Egyptian man will marry older Egyptian woman. That's simply how the mentality works. Here it's simply like 200 years ago in Europe, that simply the man must be older than the woman. And they have really kind of big differences here. Not all, but it can be even 10 years. But that the man is older. Even 20 years. I saw it. Okay. So that's how it's worked. But if you are in similar age as you wrote, maybe could work. I don't say it can't. I say maybe, okay? But really, you are 37, you have your life experience. So, as I told, try to test him in many ways, how you want to feel comfortable. Sorry, your name is in Russia. If I did it right, so I'm not from Russia, I forget it. Ask him, what do you mean today? I don't understand, what do you mean? So what I was telling you, Daniela, test him to be sure that his words are not just words but also action. Like, discuss with him everything, how your life will look like, where you will live, who will be responsible for the financial situation if he allows you to work. Okay, and discuss the children's situation very much as well, because I don't know if you have children or if you want to have children. And even ask about yourself about the polygamy question. Even with him, discuss this. Okay? Very important. Nika, it probably is a problem if you want to be with him in Egypt and he is okay with that. Then okay. If he says that he wants to live with you in your country, then he might be a scammer. Yes, for sure. If you just meet an Egyptian man and he tell you directly like, hey, I wanna live in Europe or foreign country, so probably yes, he's just searching for some woman to get out of Egypt. It's very, very common, but still it's working very, very well. But some Egyptian men don't say it in the first moment. I had experience with one woman who told me actually that the man was very, very nice, and he mentioned this after they married. And it was worse for her because he was manipulating her very, very much till she did what he wanted. Because if she didn't, he will treat her here in Egypt very bad. Okay, so sometimes it's not that clear. And even put in mind that people can change. For example, you meet beautiful men, Egyptian, everything is fine, but because all of us is changing constantly, so he can change his mind. So you can. Watch other videos on this channel. They are very helpful. Okay, thank you so much, dear. Thank you for the support. Many Egyptian people think that other countries are better to live in and you can have better life. Oh, yes. Yes, definitely. And do you know why? Because many Egyptian, or most of them, they are not able to travel outside of Egypt. Yes, I believe you asked me about this before as well. If it's true that the Egyptian men can't travel. Yes, it's very, very true. And the reason is actually army. Because here, every Egyptian man, when he's adult but still young, like around 20, something like this, I don't remember exactly the age, but he must go to army to fulfill his duty. I don't know how long they stay in the army, but simply sometimes they have to simply enter it. Once they finished, then they can possibly travel, but there are a lot of conditions, like if he knows someone in the country, if he has a lot of money to pay for it, he must provide that he has the money in his bank account, and he has for the flight ticket there and back, and he must pay for the visa. It's so expensive, really. So most of the people, Egyptian, they don't have such a money for traveling. Okay. You was reacted when. Okay, how you was reacted when first time put on a cap and go out? Okay. The first time when I get out with niqab, it was very easy because I dressed niqab when I came to Egypt. Actually, I dressed niqab after 14 days when I stay in Egypt before I get married. So I dressed niqab, and it was fine because I was in Egypt, right? So many women here dress niqab, so it was absolutely fine. I felt comfortable in niqab since the very first day I dressed it. Okay, but I would like to go back to the question, like why Egyptian people think that the life in other countries are better. So I told you because they don't travel to any other country, they are not able. So basically, because they don't know the world outside of Egypt, so they think anything outside of Egypt is paradise. I cannot blame them for it because they really have no other experience than in Egypt. So if you just imagine it like even in your country, that you stay in your country your whole life and you have no information about the other countries, because now they maybe have because of the internet, right? But if we have even old generation who doesn't have, and believe me, here in Egypt there are so many people, poor people, who even don't have so much access to the internet. And a lot of people here are uneducated as well. And for example, most Egyptian scammers, which are in Hurghada and Sharm el-Sheikh, they are not that well educated. So take care of this, dear. Really, it's very, very tricky. So because of this lack of information, yes, they think that in Europe, for example, in Europe, they think that Europe is really paradise. The money they have free from the government, and then basically can do nothing, and they will live a luxury life. Okay, if I compare the salaries, even if you're on some support of government, yeah, here in Egypt it's really a lot of money. But they don't understand the point that when you live in the Europe, so yes, you, for example, earn a lot of money, but you also spend a lot of money on the lifestyle, right? But they don't understand it, and they will not understand this point until they go there and try it by themselves. Then they will understand and change the mentality. Hopefully. Okay, next question. 37, single and no kids. Actually not into kids so much, but not close to have one. We talk about it. He told me not into kids also. Hey, Daniel, wait. Egyptian men tell you that he's not that into kids? Yeah, it's not that it's not existing. Yeah, some men can be so, but it's so rare. It's like 1% of whole Egypt. Okay, so I don't know. It sounds to me, I will not believe him. No, I will not. Because I told it many times, a lot of Egyptian men, almost all, they want to have kids. And as I told, they can even change. If he tell you now he doesn't want, are you sure that he will not change his mind after 1, 2, 5, 10 years? And if he does change his mind, because you're older than him, so for example, you will not be able to be pregnant anymore. And you will find yourself, you are not be able to pregnant, and he suddenly want the kids. So what you will do? You will get divorced, or you will accept polygamy, or what? You know, like I mean, you can discuss this point with him as well. What will happen in case if this situation happen? To don't be after surprised or get hurt. You know. He said that we can decide together where to live if everything goes fine with us. Okay, it sounds to me already that he doesn't want to stay in Egypt. I know this kind of sentences from Egyptian men. Try to tell him you want to live in Europe, and let's see if he will agree easily or not. The boy I was speaking to had to go into army, but I think he was able to leave early, but may have to go back. That could be why he tries to speak to me. You know, about the army, it's complicated as well from the point it depends if he's the only son or he has a brothers. Basically, tell you on my example, okay? My husband is the only son and he has 3 sisters. So from this point that he's the only man in the family, he doesn't have to go to army, or he has to, but for example, he was like, I believe 6 months, something like this, really like a short period, maybe even 3 months. I'm not sure enough, okay. But he go there for some days. That's the point. But if my husband had a brothers, so then all of the men have to go to army, because not in the same time, they'll like exchange, of course, by the age and by ministers. So they exchange, but they will all go to army. Once they finish the army, so then they are, let's say, able to leave. But as I mentioned before, it's really complicated here with the army. Like the army in Egypt is very, very strong and controlling absolutely everything in Egypt. You cannot even imagine, but I don't want to speak about it on the internet because why? Because the government here is controlling everything, even what's on the internet. So I don't want to get myself into problems. We can discuss it maybe if you come here and I meet you personally. I can tell you everything how it's working here. But trust me, with the army, it's very, very complicated. About this only point, the Egyptian men are not actually lying. They are very honest about this. And they will not allow him to travel till he finish it if he has a brothers, as I told you. If he is the only son and maybe he marry you, so yeah, he somehow could escape this. somehow. Okay, but I told you I married my husband when he was still in the university, so he was waiting when he finished the university, and then still, even we already traveled to Europe and go back, even for a holiday, he still had to enter the army at the end. So they will not escape this. Okay, I'm sorry, I get lost in the comments now. Alhamdulillah, we're happy for you. Okay, thank you so much. I'm happy that you're happy for me. Thank you. What really surprised me that they have a lot of misconception about Europe, like that all countries in Europe are the same and rich. Yeah, definitely. And so, wait, how about the countries in Europe? Yes, that's what I told you, because they never travel outside of Egypt, so, and especially to Europe, right? So they think that Europe is like one whole paradise, and all the countries are the same. Even some Egyptians know the difference because of a football, because Egyptians love football very much. So by the football team, they know that, for example, England is better, or Germany is the top country of Europe. They know somehow like slight information. But they really have the image that Europe is completely paradise and we live there for free without work with a lot of money. Okay, if he doesn't want to have kids, either he already has some or he is not serious about you from experience. Yeah, I have to agree with this. Yeah. Basically, if Egyptian men say that he doesn't want to have kids, so for me, it's really suspicious. He's lying, or as you told Nika, he already have kids, or he doesn't take you seriously. Yes, it's a very good point. He will not take you seriously, and so he is not actually seeing you as his future wife, but maybe some mistress for some time. And it reminds me, that's a good point as well. If you know the Egyptian tradition, very, very good. So you cannot have intercourse with Egyptian men when you are in Egypt. And now my question is, how many of you really keep this rule? But even for us, it's normal in Europe, right? We are free in this. But Egyptians are not. First of all, if you're not married, you can get yourself to a big, big trouble. Basically, even the police can come for you and take you to jail for this if they catch you somehow like that you are not married. That a lot of men, for this purpose, they are writing our famous Orphy contract. Yeah, maybe good point as well. If you have an Orphy with some Egyptian man, so please at least pay attention that it has some stamp on it. Okay, that you are really his wife. Because some men even don't make the stamp on it, and it means that the paper is absolutely useless and you are not his wife indeed. Okay? But they do it for the purpose like to trick you, to sleep with you, to get from you whatever they want. And when they finish, they just cut the paper like this and it's done. And you have no rights in Egypt. But once you have at least a stamp on it, because Orphy contract look absolutely different than from a real contract. I have the real contract, so that's why I can tell you. But you must have the stamp on it. So once you have the stamp on it, even if it's Orphy, okay, you are by the law a wife and you have your rights. So if you separate with him, okay, or if you invest the money to him, so in this case, it can be somehow read back. You can go to a lawyer, the lawyer can help you, and you can manage a lot of stuff. But if you don't have the stamp on the contract, and for example, you believe he tell you, oh, I'm your husband, you can give me some money, and you give him some money, you will never get it back from him anymore. And it reminds me as well another story, funny story for me. That I listened story like a European woman came here to Egypt and she was in love with Egyptian man. And actually, she asked the Egyptian man to send her money into her country. And he did. Egyptian man send money to European woman. It was my first time I listened this. But I tell you this, it's a very good example. And believe it or not, she simply stole the money from him. Okay, she never wanted to rob him this money. But then, after like 1 year, she came to Egypt for a holiday with someone absolutely else, not even with this man. But this man somehow knew that she's in Egypt. He go to the police, and the police get her, really, this woman. And if she didn't pay this money back to him, so she will go to jail. It's a story which I heard, so I have to share with you, right? But my question maybe is how the police will react if it's opposite. If they will also support the European woman or not. We have a lot of mysteries in here in Egypt, honestly. Okay, some more questions. Do anyone have more questions? I give you the time here to ask me whatever you want. Okay, so again, I'm so sorry that I may be disappointed today, but I really, really wanted to be honest with you as much as I can. Even it might hurt you now very much, but it's better now than after something really bad happens. As I mentioned before, really in the last 2 years, especially when I started my YouTube now here, and I'm trying to help the women. Since the very first day when I published my first book, actually, I went through so many stories. I literally, from the stories, I personally even cried, and I was so sad, and it affected my personal life so much. Thank you so much for your explanation and advice. You're welcome, dear, and I'm really sorry I didn't tell you positive news. But as I told, it's better to know the truth now than later. Okay, maybe another question for you. Are you waiting for Ramadan? Oh, yes. Yes, I love Ramadan in Egypt. It's so beautiful month. You know, a lot of friends actually think, and if you're not Muslim especially, that Ramadan is just about fasting, to be hungry and to be thirsty all the day, but it's not that very much. I can tell you honestly, because I was in Ramadan in Egypt and I was in Ramadan in Europe. In Egypt, it's much easier, really, than in Europe, because all are fasting here. And it has a beautiful atmosphere. You know, atmosphere actually, I'll compare it like a Christmas in Europe, if you know what I mean. But I speak about the atmosphere, okay? I don't celebrate Christmas anymore, but I did. 18 years I was celebrating Christmas. It was very beautiful feeling and atmosphere. And the same I have with Ramadan. Because lights are everywhere in the streets and so beautiful foods everywhere. And in this time on the streets you can see really food for the poor people for free. So we don't have a poor people in this month, which is something really so amazing. And for me, Ramadan in Egypt is one big party, really, because as you know, like Egyptian, they are really big families. So each day we go to someone else for food, for a visit. And I'm so tired in Ramadan just from the visiting, okay? I'm not that tired from the fasting as much as I am tired from the visiting. But it's really so beautiful, really. And especially the last 10 days, because they are the most important in the Ramadan. So it has more specific feeling. And what we do also, I can tell in Ramadan, that we go even to the mosque, or we used to do it. Now we can't because of the COVID, you know what happened in the world. So mosque for women are closed now, and we don't know if they will open them or not. But for men, they are available. But we was even like sleeping there in the mosque, like all the evening, like we was praying, then have suhoor, which means the food before you start fast, together in the mosque. And after, like, when it's light, when it's day, you go back to home. So it's beautiful. But Egyptians in Ramadan, honestly, they are kind of cheating for me, because they go sleep after the first morning prayer, and then they sleep, for example, till 12 or 2 afternoon, and the break is 7, so they are just fasting like 5 hours, and the rest of the hours they are sleeping. Sounds really nice. Will you make some videos in Ramadan? Oh, yes, I can if you are interested. Tell me you. I was thinking about it because I did it, I believe, one video the last year and one before. And I didn't see that much that you are interested about it. So it's up to you. If you want to see the Ramadan from Egypt, I can do for sure. We can make it even on a daily basis. Like each of day, if something interesting happen, I can video it, or I can make like one whole video from all the Ramadan. What do you think? Tell me you. But tell me now, please, that I can get ready on it. But for me, no, this actually, sure, okay. For me, this time will be very, very busy, especially now before Ramadan, because I'm going to move to a new flat here in Alexandria still, but a new flat, a better flat. So it will be in the next week, and so it will be before Ramadan, kind of. So it will be very, very busy time. But I hope I will still keep my videos and like this. About my videos, yeah. I want to ask you, should I continue Rama vlogs? That's a great name. Wait, I'm gonna write it down on my paper so don't forget it. I will name it like you advised it me. Rama vlogs. Thank you for this idea. And about my videos, I want to ask you, and now it's your decision. Should I continue to make videos about Egyptian men? Because I have a lot of topics still written I can speak about. Or should I tell you better some stories like my last video, which I shared my story with my Egyptian friend? If you would like this, what do you like more, stories now or advices? That's what I basically ask. Can you just write it to me now? The one, if you listen to me, please. If I should make videos about advices with Egyptian men or go to a stories better now. Waiting for your answers. Okay, maybe your answers will come later. Still waiting. And yes, please, if you don't know, I'm just gonna tell you quickly. If you want to get my videos to your email, so you can write me your email or my blog, you can subscribe to my email list, okay? I recently started to work on it very well. So I believe like each video you will get notification to the email. You give good advice. No one else makes these videos about men, and I think it's helping a lot of women. Maybe interchangeably. What is your email? Those are interesting. Okay, my email. I'm gonna write it to you. Basically, it's Ancient Egypt 2016 on Gmail. Just wrote it to you. Those are interesting. I don't see anyone else on YouTube giving advice of Egyptian men on YouTube. Okay, so the answer is very clear. So you will continue speaking with Egyptian men. Don't worry, I have a lot of topics written and prepared. Right now, I can tell you I still have like 30 ideas about Egyptian men. So we have a lot of time to discuss the Egyptian men. I'm so happy actually to like it. And it's very interesting because when I started my YouTube, I never get into my mind that I will speak about Egyptian men. Basically, I created YouTube because of my blog. And in my blog, I was focused on the Egyptian history, as I told you many times, that I wanted to speak about the Egyptian history. But it's so nice, actually, that the work which I gradually did, so it leads me to this point and to these topics about Egyptian men. But I'm so happy for it at the end, that it changed along, because it maybe leads me to who I really am and what you really need. So, and that I'm so happy that we have this connection between each other. Because I feel here on YouTube especially that we are like really huge family. And you always speak to me like your sister, and I speak to you the same way, really like a friend. And it's so beautiful, really. I'm so grateful for it. Okay, thank you for sharing all your experience with us and answering my questions now. So happy. Greetings from Bolivia. Wow, that's far away. Okay, greeting you too, dear, and thank you that you asked me those questions. Thank you. I'm the one who should thank you, at the end. So, okay, dear, it's 10. I'll have to finish because I still have a lot of work preparing another video. Tomorrow I will publish a video. It will not be video. It will be a podcast with one foreign woman who lives here in Alexandria. And we met personally. And her story or her opinion about Egypt is very specific and very original because she is not like me at all. She never wanted to live in Egypt. So her view of points are really different than mine. So I'll recommend to listen it tomorrow. I will publish it, I think, afternoon around 4 p.m. And yeah, I just made it now that all of my videos will be published always in afternoon 4 p.m. exactly. The only exception is for my book, the new book, Egypt Loves You. I'm publishing Wednesday 8 morning. And it reminds me, please tell me quickly, if you can, what's your opinion about my new book? I know that I see that you are listening, kind of a lot of people is listening, but you never give me any comment on the book or any your personal what you think about it. It drives me crazy. Like, you comment on each of my video, but this book you never comment. So please tell me now. We have the time still. 5 more minutes for this, please. Tell me if you listened the book, if you listened actually or not. You know that I make my books for free on the YouTube, like an audio, that anyone can listen it and anyone can learn from it. So I believe it's very nice. What do you think? Actually, do you like that I'm putting the books like this, or you will prefer not and go just for the videos? Anyone can tell me? Still waiting. Really, no one? Daniela, come on, you can tell me if you listen it or not. If you like it. It would be so nice if you tell me. I haven't read the book. I will have to find it. Oh, yeah. Not yet, but I will listen. That's too bad, girls. Oh my god. Thank you for the links. I listened to the first one. I like the first one. Okay, that's great. So, if you listen to the first one, what's your opinion about Egyptian man? No, I'm speaking now about the book, my last book, a new book right now. It's called Egypt Loves You, and it's basically my story when I came here to Egypt for the first time, what happened with me till the time I married. So it's really my experience with this book, okay? And I wrote every single details, how it really, really happened with me. So I know that this book is not, for example, advices for you, but basically you can learn from my story very, very much. Because as I told you, I was extremely young and extremely naive when I came here. And I did so much mistakes, so huge mistakes, even. So from this point, you can learn to don't repeat the same mistake as I did. That's why I actually wrote the book, I believe. Well, yeah, please listen it. It's even available as an ebook on my blog with a discount for you, okay? And then you can find it, of course, on Amazon as an ebook or as a hard copy, but ebook is more expensive than on my blog. And the hard copy, I'm actually gonna get my book, like a really hard copy in my hands, like in 1 week. So I will show you after, or maybe you can make another live and discuss the book more deeply about what is it, how it looks, and so on. And actually the book is on Amazon kind of expensive, I know, but I really prefer the quality than to make it cheap and looking not that good. Because the last book which I wrote, I'm really so proud of it. I believe it's the best book from which I wrote, because I wrote 3 books, if you don't know. Okay, so I believe this one is the best. And it has around 300 pages. Okay, it's very funny, I actually describe it in this one book like 1 month. And it took me 300 pages long. So many things happened in this one first month when I came here. It was really, really insane. And my point that I'm dealing even now with some publishing company, that they can print it to me the book even here in Egypt. And if you can come to Egypt and buy it from me here in Egypt, it will be cheap. It will be cheap, this book. But my problem is that I'm in Egypt. If I'm in Europe, so everything will be easier in the case of the book. It will be cheap and I can send you everywhere. But because I'm in Egypt, everything is expensive. I basically cannot send it anywhere, because the post from Egypt outside to the world, it's also expensive. Like for one book which I want to send you from here, from Egypt, it will cost at least $40 the post. Start by it. So this is basically my problem, which I'm fighting how to solve it. I always prefer to put it on Amazon. Then you can order it from all the world. Okay, I'll stop speaking about it. This belongs to another live video, I believe. So please just listen it, and please, after every listening, just comment on it, okay? So, I will really finish now. I have no time anymore. So again, thank you so much that you joined me. It was so nice time, and the time really passed so fast, as I see. Okay, I saw your last video about the Egyptian woman. Please never feel alone. You can count on us. We can be your family. Yeah, thank you, Daniela. That's basically what I feel with you. As I told, I really feel you are my family, and I'm your family the same. And I really want to have the connection with you, that we are really best friends, and anything you need, I'm here for you. Okay? I can be, of course, even opposite. So it's very, very beautiful, and I want to keep it, really. But Daniela, no worry. I really have in Egypt many, many friends. Like, I'm staying here 10 years, right? So I'm not alone, basically, even in Egypt. I have so many friends here. But still, if you trust someone, and if someone want to make you believe that you are his family, and they are using the words like, you are the sisters, I will never let you down, and so many times they repeat it, and so many action they do. And then you found out, like, basically I found after 2 years that all of this is kind of lie. It simply hurts, Okay, I get over it, alhamdulillah. I really get over it, and she's free whatever she wants. I'm happy for her. May she have really the best life, but that's it. But actually, I told you, I thank you for your comments, because you make me realize that even now I can be very naive, which is kind of very funny. Like, I'm really adult now. I should grow up, right? So thank you, Nika. Thank you for joining at the end. I'm so happy that you came from work directly to my live video. Thank you so much. Okay, so I will finish now, and again, thank you so much to everyone for joining and listening to me. And I hope we can make the live, I believe, in next week. Okay, Nadia, did Egypt men serious on relationships? Right, this is a very common question which we discuss almost now a long time. It really depends what's your story. Where did you meet the man? How old is he? What's his work? How he reacts to you? Do you know his family? His words, are they only words or they are even actions? You must be really, Najia, you must be really more specific with this. I can tell you from this question if they are serious or not. Basically, some Egyptians are serious and some not, like in any other country. But with the difference that Egypt has many, many scammers. Many scammers. And by our foreign bad luck, we mostly fell for the scammers than for the true and good Egyptian men, because true Egyptian men, they are not in the tourist area mostly. But when we came here for the first time, so to which area we go? Mostly to the tourist one, right? And that's the place where most of the women fall in love with Egyptian men. So Najia, if you wanna discuss this with me, you can write me email, okay, or Instagram, Facebook, anywhere, and I will be happy to discuss with you this topic, your problem. Okay. So again, thank you so much, my family, my lovely family. And yes, I want to tell that maybe we can make another live video next week, maybe in the same day. What do you think? Okay. So bye bye then.